Have you ever thought that you're just one choice away from a completely different life? That is, if that choice means you still have one. I want you to think back to when you were 6 years old. What did you want to be when you grew up? A firefighter, an athlete, CEO, celebrity, a veterinarian. And you was told that you could be anything you wanted as long as you put your mind to it. And really, that's good advice. But as you grew, the adults went from their soothing baby voices to their sharp claws ready to grab you back to reality. You were bombarded with phrases like, grow up, it's time to get back to reality. They told you to stop dreaming. And look, some of us wanted to be Spider-Man and some of us wanted to be Barbie. Perhaps that rude awakening was necessary, as reality can be really cruel. I want you to remember that spark, that essence of your being that sits deep down within inside you. Just remember, we all have a dream, but can you really say you're living up to your own expectations? We have all these famous icons telling us how we should lead our lives. And sure, in that moment, you feel a surge of energy, of power. You're ready to tackle the world. But what do you do when the music turns off? The next day after that, life is just this string of choices. And for every choice, there is a consequence. Simply ask yourself, if you died tomorrow, would you be proud? Or would your mind start to ripple with thoughts like, what if things were different? What if I could do it all again? Most of us know that we don't want to be normal, just following the traditional path of life. So I want you to think about the year you was born, and then a hypothetical death date. And in between, there's a line, a very significant line. This line is your life. What stories, experiences, lessons do you have to tell? What do you want to be remembered for? And what's funny is that even after watching this very video, you might get a little boost, a surge, but you just need to remember it's only you. It's only you in your head, 24/7, 365. That brings us back. What is that one choice that could leverage your life if you just gave it a chance? If you just let yourself be vulnerable, going out and learning a new skill set, investing time to grow from your current situation, taking one step back to move 2 steps forward. You're scared, you're afraid of judgment, you're embarrassed. But when all is said and done, who cares? Whether you live up to your own potential is of no concern to anybody else. You can easily go with the flow, let life lead you, or you can choose to lead your own life. But honestly, the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. So we come to the question of, is it too late? We all understand the concept that time is not promised. It cannot be saved. It can only be taken. Taken and utilized, or simply thrown away. We want to experience life's wonders whilst we're still young enough to enjoy them, whatever those interests may be. But speaking from personal experience, every year feels like a year too late. It feels as if I've missed the success wagon in my desired field. I could be investing time into something else, and I've got so much to catch up on. Especially when you started something months or years beforehand, and you reflect on the hypothetical situation you would be in today if you just stuck it out. You may overestimate your ability of where you would be today, which makes it feel 10 times worse. Now, every little bit of work you put in, you feel like you're just following the shadow, the trace of the success that you would have been on if you just stuck it out from the beginning. Maybe you tried to skip ahead in delusion to save the time that you lost. But in reality, all this time going back and forth means you just lost more time because you refused to start again and accept reality. This is quite the dilemma, because now we're faced with the problem of what if I die tomorrow versus investing time today, which may compound into a future that is not promised. My advice would be, if you genuinely know within yourself that you tried every day to change your situation, if you did die, you'd be proud, and God willing, you don't die, you'd be better off for it anyway. Whether you try or not, the next year will come and the year after that. We all have different circumstances and try to juggle our time in accordance to them. Not everybody wants to be a superstar, but you can just try to be the best version of yourself. And if that's not good enough, think about how being the best person that you can be can help and support the people that you love. So, how do we know we're on the right path? Let's scale things down. Let's think of a famous icon, for example, Mike Tyson. He had a career of 20 years, which is a long time, no? Now let's think about how many hours, minutes, seconds he put into his craft. Every single punch that he ever threw. This also gives us the perspective that he was not working every single hour of every single day for 20 years. We can get an accurate direction by understanding that it's still a massive amount of hours. But once you break it down, you can understand how you can break down a similar amount of hours into your own routine. Looking at it from this perspective makes it a lot more digestible because you took the time to break it down and understand it. This is accompanied by your own self-reflection that we had done before. You need a vision beyond the discipline. Why are you doing this? What does that inner voice say? Next, you need to build a system that works for you. Do you need to wake up bright and early to feel like you've utilized the day and then earn your break? Or are you a night owl who can tunnel in once the world has become quiet? Either way, you must learn how to habit stack and follow your system. For me personally, I find it so much easier to have a productive evening once I've already had a productive morning. It sets a path for me to follow. Day in and day out, you need to become the person who listens to a language podcast in the morning, who reads on the train, who goes to the gym after work, the person who dedicates more time building their skill sets rather than watching other people build theirs. Every video or piece of entertainment you consume, there is a person behind it with the desire to elevate their own lives. So whilst you're there being a consumer, they have been a producer. You may have heard that life is just like a butterfly effect. Every single action, every single choice you've made has led you to this moment right here. All you can do is keep rolling the dice. But every time you improve the chance you're just one choice away from a completely different life. I can't tell you whether you're on the right path for your life, but I can tell you about the core principles of why you may feel stuck in life in this video here. I hope you was able to gain some sort of value from this video. And anyways, in a bit.